April is Autism Acceptance Month, and with more than 7 million people in the United States on the autism spectrum, this is a time to celebrate differences, promote inclusion, raise awareness, and help remove the stigma associated with the autism community. Joining us now is child advocate and civil rights attorney Areva Martin, founder and president of Special Needs Network, one of the nation's leading disability, children's health, and social justice nonprofits. Areva, thank you so much for joining us. Last year, the Autism Society of America announced its shift in terminology from Autism Awareness Month to Autism Acceptance Month. Tell us why that's important and what the new term symbolizes.
Yeah, Lindsay, that's very important because one of the things we want to do in the autism community is remove the stigma. And as we want to promote awareness, we also want to promote inclusion and acceptance. We want the world to know, and Americans in particular, to know that people with autism are just like you and me. They are people that have feelings, they love their family members, they want jobs, they love fun in the community, and we want people to accept them for who they are. So the shift in name was really about shifting the attitude that we have about individuals living with autism, and really to make it easier for them to be integrated into their workplaces as well as into the community.
And your nonprofit organization, Special Needs Network, caters to the crisis of people living with disabilities in underserved communities. What would you say are some of the greatest challenges?
Yeah, the greatest challenges, unfortunately, is structural racism. There was a report out, Lindsay, last year or at the end of 2021 that talked about structural racism that families, particularly Black and brown families, face in terms of getting both the diagnostic test as well as getting access to services. So barriers that families face, many Black families in particular that were a part of this study reported going into doctors' offices and doctors not believing them when they told them about what they witnessed with regards to their children and milestones that their children weren't meeting, biases that people had about Black and brown children.
What initiatives do you currently have in place to help those students feel more welcomed in society?
You know, one of the things that we do at Special Needs Network is we try to provide parents with the resources that they need. We have an annual conference every year. This year's coming up on April 30th, where we bring in the best and the most skilled folks, scientists, medical doctors, practitioners, special education attorneys, to really arm parents with the information they need to help them navigate these complex systems of care. And then we try to wrap our arms around parents and let them know that they're not alone, that there are resources out there for them, and that they are part of a really important and special community.
You've been rather candid about the fears that you have as mother of a Black son on the spectrum. Back in 2020, you wrote an article titled, "My Son is Black and Lives with Autism. How do I protect him from police brutality?" Share with us some of those concerns and what advice you might have for parents who are in a similar situation.
Yeah, we know it as Black parents, we have to give our kids, particularly our Black sons, the talk. And that is about how they are to conduct themselves if they are stopped by police. And unfortunately, when you have a child like my son, Marty, that has a disability, that talk is even more intense because you're always concerned that a police officer may call your son's name. Like my son, he knows his name and he knows how to respond. But if a stranger calls out to him and he doesn't respond quickly enough, I'm concerned that police officer may think that's non-compliance. He may think my son is being belligerent or being obstructionist. And so we've got to make sure that police officers know what some of the signs and symptoms are and what it's like to live with autism. And at the same time, we have to educate our children about how to interact with law enforcement.
And pivoting to COVID now for a moment, a report from Autism Society revealed that people with intellectual disabilities were almost 6 times more likely to die from COVID-19. Access to early diagnosis and intervention slowed down at an alarming rate, as you know, during the pandemic. Do you think that we'll ever truly know how big of an impact COVID had on this population?
I don't think so. And we're not even measuring the mental health issues that individuals with developmental disabilities experience, the isolation, the loss of their routines, the loss of services. We have thousands and thousands of kids, families who we're trying to help. Kids experienced a lot of regression during this period. So a part of what we're going to be doing at this April 30th conference is helping families understand what their legal rights are and how they regain some of those services that were lost.
And lastly, Areva, as a community, what can we do to try to help foster these conversations about inclusion and acceptance for people who are living on the spectrum?
Linsey, doing exactly what you're doing today, interviewing folks like me, talking to everyday people, getting to know those people in your own family and your own community who may be raising a child or are living with someone with autism. So this is the month where we are promoting acceptance and awareness. And I say, go hug and give a big hug to someone you know who's living with autism.
All right. Areva Martin, founder and president of the Special Needs Network, we thank you so much for joining us on this very important topic.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.